What's up, guys? Chad, Dorky, and 40 RC channel here. Now, one of the most important things you can do really in any rubber tire class, whether it would be for Losi Nascar or for like my TT02, any rubber tire, is balancing the tire. Now, this video is definitely going to be targeted more towards the beginning Losi Nascar type of people. Maybe you don't have this stuff. Maybe you're a seasoned veteran and you do, and you already know about this. But a lot of the newer guys don't. And that's balancing your tires, making things as smooth as possible as you can. So, you know, in these stock classes where we can't change motor and gearing and all that stuff, we play with the shocks, we play with the diff. We need the car to operate and roll and just be as smooth as possible. Now, these tires are kind of rough already because, as you probably noticed, yours are probably starting to kind of like bow out as you run them and all that kind of stuff. The use of harsh chemicals like the traction compound, brake cleaners, stuff like that. I've recently switched to Simple Green to clean my tires with. That has been a huge help as far as like tire longevity. But balancing these things is just a good thing. And it's really easy and, you know, pretty affordable to do. So what you're going to need, of course, is your tires. I would always, if you're going to glue them up first. So that way you're doing all that together. And then the key to this thing is this is a DURBO propeller balancer. Now I have a link to this. It's an Amazon link in my description below. And literally this thing is made for balancing propellers on airplanes. So if it's good enough to basically make something in the air safer, it's definitely good enough for your RC tires. And what you're going to need is that, a nice level surface. And then, you know, because I race cars, I use this Hootie black kind of putty stuff. It seems to just work and stick really good. If you go to like Lowe's or Home Depot, in the electrician's aisle, you will find these big bricks of like electrician's putty, and that stuff works really good as well. This definitely works best when you're using it on a new tire, but you can always clean the inside of the tire off and just, you know, let it dry off a little bit, and then you'll be able to use this. Truth be told, because I try to be honest with everybody, you can buy this if you want to. These tires come pretty dang well balanced out of the box, at least the ones that I've done so far. Now, that doesn't mean that, you know, quality control can't come and bite us in the butt one day. And it also, just because the craziness of these rules doesn't mean that they won't be teching your car for balancing compounds someday, but you just never know with the madness that's going on around these cars right now. So what you do is you put this thing on your balancer, and then it's basically going to spin, and it's going to spin to where the heaviest part is pointing towards the bottom. So then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take a little piece of the putty, and you're going to want to stick it 180 degrees, so the very top. Then you're going to kind of spin it around a little bit, and ideally you would want the tire to stop no matter where you spin it, or pretty close. Don't get yourself too crazy about this. Usually the bigger the tires and maybe like the crappier the tire, the more that you're going to have to apply. And you really only want to try to apply it in one spot. Sometimes you might start off with, say, like a little dot, and to get the balance that you need, you might just have to like spread it out like that. So it makes things a little bit easier. So what we'll do is we'll put the tire on here, and these things just spin really good, and we'll let the tire go, and it is spinning, and just going to let it rock back and forth here for a second, and it is going to stop. And what I do is just boom, there's the top of my tire. I'm going to take the putty, and then I'm just going to stick it in there, and I'm just going to kind of smash it down in there. So you kind of get something like that right there. And then we will put it back on the balancer, And then we'll know right away if we put too much putty on that spot, because it will basically roll down to that. So right there, the tire just slightly moved. So if I grab it and pick it up, we could see that it just kind of rotated a little bit to one side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the putty pointing that way. So the original heavy side is pointing towards me. I'm going to just kind of stick it on here and let go of it, see what it does. And it looks like it is going back up towards the heavy spot where the putty was applied. So what I'm going to do now is point the putty at me and let it go and see if it goes back to the top there. And it definitely is. So basically it's telling me that I need to apply a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is just pinch off a little bit more, and I am just going to stick it right on that exact same spot. And then we are going to rinse and repeat. And eventually we're going to get to a spot where the tire kind of is doing what it did right there, where it just rocked back and forth just slightly, and then it was stationary. So I'm going to move it around a couple different places. It's staying put. Going to move it around a couple places. Like, it's not going to be perfect in all areas, but you just want it to just kind of stabilize a little bit. So again, don't drive yourself crazy with this process. You don't have to sit here and get it to where it is stuck completely. But, you know, now we got a balanced tire, and you're going to want to do it to all four of them. And that should be good. Again, if you're going to glue your sidewalls, or if you're going to like break them in and singing them down a little bit, all that kind of stuff, get all that stuff out of the way first. And then this will be your very last step. So hopefully this helps some of you guys out, teaches you a little bit more about RC in general, and, you know, will make your whole experience a lot better, and hopefully you'll have more fun with it. So that's it for this quick video. We will talk to you guys later. Peace.